we had this fella just make these different expressions, and many more actually. We probably have 12, 15 different expressions that this person is making. But I want to try and just pick out a few to show you how important it is to watch and see what's happening with the whole face as a group. The whole face is often influenced by one attitude, and so when we have this eye and this face relaxed with this one here, and just concentrating on one half, it's very much like we were talking about with the little girl here. Her face is relaxed. We don't see prominent cheeks and all that. And also her eye is about as open as it's going to be, unless she's really surprised and trying to do something like this. But that's an exaggerated expression. Most people don't run around like that. And when we see their eyes open, we know maybe there's other things going on. Maybe they're making that expression and or. So then when we have a more pleasant smile starting to develop here, and that's a nice pleasant smile. We see the corners coming up, even though this probably goes down. Even if he didn't have a mustache and a beard, we'd be able to see that the corners probably go up like this and come down. And so let me get a piece of paper and just make sure that I'm communicating that okay, if you can't see it. So this would come up, and most of the time it comes down. Most of the time you're not going to see a smile where it just goes right up like that. That works on a maybe a happy face, a symbol, but it doesn't really work on a person most of the time because we have other factors that are in play here. We have the cheeks, and we have maybe the corners of the mouth that are pull in enough that they don't get the light, and so we start seeing things communicated in value. But it really is important for us to understand what goes on. So now we have the eye opening up even more. And this is not normal, so we know that this, is a surprise situation. He's incredulous. He's just, I can't believe what just happened. And all these things are important. If this person is trying to communicate that in person, I want to be able to communicate it on my drawing, if that's what I'm to do. And especially as an illustrator, when somebody wants, exaggerated expressions or be able to capture the mood, to be able to tell the story, I want to be able to do that. This wouldn't make a very good portrait, so you're probably not going to see it in your portrait material if you're taking a nice picture of somebody. And then we have, some of the things that are changing over here on the far right one. And I don't know whether this is light enough for you, but we're starting to see the eyelids and the folds over the eyes change. These are starting to angle more. Look at how arced this is. Maybe I need to zoom in just a little bit more. Let me see if we can help you see this a little bit better. But look at how this is arced. Pretty symmetrical. This is still higher over here. So I want to pay attention to that because I want to know where the high point of this is really important for the character of this person. This one over here is pretty symmetrical. It's just a nice arc. But when we start coming up with certain expressions, now he's scrunching down his eyebrows. So we see a huge difference here. We see quite a distance between this and this, the bottom of his eyebrow. But when we get over here to another expression, and look at how high it is here, but when we have a concern or maybe anger or disappointment or all kinds of different things, we want to really make sure that we're paying attention, because now this eyebrow, for all practical purposes, is almost touching that fold in the eye, and that makes a difference. One of the things that I see often in trying to help people with portraits and start seeing what they're looking at and what's in front of them is that they will put something like this or something like this distance on something like this. Well, now we have a total contradiction because it doesn't fit with why the eye is starting to close up on us and it's angled severely and all these different things that happen because of this expression. So we want consistency. We don't want something to nullify what we're trying to accomplish in another area.